Hi guys, so in today's video I'm going to give you some tips on how to decide your uni course and also the uni that you go to. So I know this is something that can seem quite daunting, especially as it can have such a big impact on your life, but hopefully some of the tips I can give you can help you to narrow down the choices and eventually select it, because yeah, it's something that hopefully you'll end up having the best time of your life at uni. Which I'm hoping I'll be able to have as well. Just a bit of background on my situation. I should be in year 13 right now, about to sit my A-levels, but obviously because of the situation with coronavirus, I finished A-levels early, but I have accepted an offer at the University of Birmingham to do sports, exercise and health science. So hopefully I'll be going there next year, and yeah, I'll tell you a bit as we go through about how I made my choices, and hopefully we'll be able to help you to decide as well. We'll just get into the video. Hopefully you enjoy, and if you do, please put a like down below, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. I'd be greatly appreciated. And yeah, if you subscribe, I'm hopefully be posting as well my tips for A-level. So revision tips, what you should do with your A-levels, and different tips like that. So yeah, we'll get into this university video and how to pick your union course. So yeah, we'll just get straight into the video. So the first tip I'd say is, when deciding your course, you need to look at something that you enjoy, because you're going to be studying this for at least 3+ years. So you don't want to be studying something for that long in that much detail when you don't enjoy it. So hopefully with the A-levels you've picked, it should be something to do with what you enjoy the most. So have a look at that and base it off that sort of thing. So for example, I did biology, geography and PE. So I did 2 science subjects, and it's based around that. I quite enjoyed the biology and PE, especially PE, so that's how I decided to do sports science, because it really worked with the subjects I did. And also when you're looking at what you can do with your A-levels, that's something that you need to look at, because it doesn't always matter too much, because one of the courses I applied for was Nottingham, and for sports science you actually needed 2 sciences, but I only did 1, and they still gave me an offer. So it's not the be all and end all if you don't do subjects, but if you look into what you can do with your subjects most of the time, it is quite useful to get an idea of what you would be able to do at uni. Another method that I've used is, there's online quizzes a lot of the time that can give you suggestions of different courses or careers that you could go into. Obviously don't take this too seriously, it's just get some different ideas of different courses that you might be able to use, that you could look further into and investigate if you really like the idea of it, but you might not have thought about it before, so it might be quite useful, and it uses your personality to see what might suit you. So yeah, that's quite a good way of finding out different courses. Another thing that I did was I looked through all of the one uni, and I looked through every course they had and just looked at every single course, and then got some ideas through that, because it had lots of different courses I hadn't thought about. So to start with, when I was first looking at unis, I actually looked at doing disaster management, which I found through looking at one of the unis, and I thought that was quite an interesting course. I was looking at doing that, but yeah, I ended up changing my mind. So it's okay if you actually change your mind halfway through as well, because I did that. If you look through all the different courses, then you get an idea of what is on offer, and every single course, there should be one that will hopefully interest you, or at least one, and then you can look further into those and investigate what you like about those or might not like about them, and hopefully decide from that. Another thing I'd recommend is looking at the career choices from these different courses, because you don't want to do a course and then realise just because you enjoyed that subject, that doesn't mean you might not like the job at the end of it. So you might like biology or physiotherapy, but you might not want to have the contact Q and contact and that sort of thing. So you need to look into what the job prospects are of the course as well, so that you end up doing something that you actually enjoy. So along with that, you also want to look at the career goals. So if you want to, from the career, if you want to be able to help people, then you look at one type of job. But if you want to work your way up to being a manager, or achieving, like researching and finding out a new cure for something, or along those lines, you need to look at what you can do from that degree and what sort of aspirations you have, and if you can achieve them through the jobs that you can get from that degree. So when you're looking at courses for different unis, you want to have a look at how they're taught and how they're assessed, because a lot of unis teach the degrees in very different ways, and often with uni you can kind of manipulate how you pick your uni by how you learn the best. So if you know that you learn best from listening to people, or from seminars type situations where you're being questioned all the time, then you can pick the uni that's best for that. Or if you know that you're really good at essays, you can pick the uni or the course that has a lot of essay type assessments, because then you know that you'll be at an advantage in doing well. So you can look at that sort of thing when you're deciding on the course with what you need to go for and what course. Another thing I'd recommend is looking on YouTube and seeing if there's anyone that does the course that you're looking at, or in the university as well, if you look at different universities, and you can have a look at their experience, and then you can base it off that, judge on how they found it, and hopefully if they say things that you like the sound of, then you know that you're going to like that. But obviously if they say things that you don't like the sound of, it's the opposite. You can decide that that's not what you want to do. But yeah, if you get a real personal experience from someone, then that's often really good at knowing if you're going to like it there. Okay, so moving on to the university and how you pick what university you go to. The first thing I'd say is have a look at what distance you're willing to move away from home. When I was thinking about it, I didn't want to be too close because I didn't really want my parents visiting every weekend or something, but I wanted to be able to be close enough that I can travel home when I wanted to every couple of weeks or months. So in the end, Birmingham is only about an hour and a half to 2 hours from my house, which is probably on the closer side to what I was thinking, but I think it's a good distance to be able to, I can come back if I want to, but it's not too close that I can go back all the time or need to go back all the time. So yeah, but some people might want to travel a long way, some people you might want to be really close to home so you can live at home. It's really a personal preference that you need to think about. Another factor you need to take into account is whether you want to live in a campus uni or a city uni, or you can also have a mixture of both. Birmingham is a mixture of both. It's in a city, but it's also all based around a campus, so that's why I liked it. I wanted to be in a city, but I also wanted to have the campus feeling of the uni, because I feel like it gives you more of like a student experience. So yeah, that's what I really liked about it. You may prefer just living in a city itself and getting to experience it by yourself, which is another way you could take that, but it's really up to you on what sort of student experience you want to have. Another thing to look at is the rankings of different unis. So there's lots of different rankings out there that if you just search on uni rankings, you'll find lots of different versions of them. And when you're doing it, you can look under just general rankings or under subject specific, which I used a lot, because you can look at where the uni ranks under the subject that you're doing, which is really useful to see, because some of the lower down overall ranked unis might be the best for your subject. So it's just looking into that and what sort of things you want from your uni. Another factor you'd want to take into account is the extracurricular activities available. So for me, I play squash, so it had to have really good squash facilities, which Birmingham is actually one of the top 2 or 3 in the country for squash, which was really good for me. But other extracurriculars, you might want to have a look at the clubs that are available, or the societies. I've had a look at a lot, and there's a lot of quite strange societies at Birmingham, like Brum Dine With Me was one of them. There's loads of different really strange societies, but it's really good that there's a diverse choice, so they probably have one that everyone would like. So you just need to look at what is available for you at the different unis, as well as if you want to go to the gym, how close the gym is, if there's one available, the price of it, that type of thing. So have a look into that sort of extracurricular type availability at the different unis. You may also want to have a look at the student support available. So some unis have all unis have a union, and they might have different support available, and the course might also have some sort of mentor for you, which you may like or not. So you could have a look into what is available for that sort of thing, and that might help you to decide. Another thing you might want to look at is the price of staying there. So have a look at the accommodation for first year as well as the next few years, and how close they are to campus, if that makes a difference for you, and what sort of quality they are, how far they're away from like the gym, the course, the shops around you. There's lots of different factors with accommodation that may affect your decision. So yeah, have a look into all the different accommodations available, and also catered and self-catered if you want to have that sort of thing. It's a big choice to make. I've gone for self-catered because of sport. It can sometimes be difficult, but that's just something that you'll need to decide based on how much time you want to spend on it, whether you want to try and save money. But yeah, that's just a choice that you also have to make. I'd say the main thing for deciding unis, and also the course as well, is you need to visit the uni. The more unis you visit, the more you understand the choice, and honestly, visiting the unis is how you decide. You really get a feel for them, and the course as well. You get to talk to the lecturers, talk to the students that are there, get their advice and what they think about the different unis. Honestly, visiting the unis is how you decide. So I'd really recommend, if you can, go visit them. If this situation continues, then I know there's a lot of online visits, so you can have a virtual open day, and I think those will be just as good, because you can talk to all the lecturers, have virtual tours and things. Just as long as you're looking at the uni, it would be really useful to pick one. And another thing, if you are visiting the uni, is have a look at the surrounding area as well, because you want to make sure you will be going out, I would have thought. So you want to make sure that you like the area and you're happy with living around there, because you will be there for 3+ years, so you need to understand the area, and yeah, hopefully you can find somewhere that you like. Make sure when you are visiting, or even afterwards, ask students for their opinions, because they'll tell you actually what happens and the honest truth of how they feel about their uni, and they might have experiences from their friends as well at different unis, so you can get a real understanding of what it's like from a student's perspective, which is really useful when deciding a uni. Another thing, if possible, which I didn't do but I wish I could have done, is going to summer schools. So they're really useful at trying out different subjects, as well as getting to stay at the unis, and really getting an understanding for what it's like to go to a university. And also, I think a lot of them can also end up in grade reductions, and also scholarships, which would be really useful when you end up going to uni. So that sort of thing I think will be really good, and it's good to put on your personal statement as well when you're writing that. So that sort of thing I definitely recommend for a decision-making process, as well as helping out when you end up going to uni. Okay, some general ideas that I've got. One thing that I did do was I wrote a massive pros and cons list with everything I cared about and all the unis that I was thinking about putting down, and that really helped me to decide in the end how I did it. So I did like a point system. So I ranked them. I wrote all the unis, all the things I care about down the other column, and then I ranked them from 1 to however many unis I've had, I can't remember now. And then I added up the score, and then the lowest score was the winner, and that was Birmingham. So that is how I ended up deciding, which, yeah, I think it's a really useful way to really not be too biased about it and think about what you really want in the uni. So that was a really useful thing that I found to decide it. Another thing, don't worry if you don't know what uni you want to go to right now. It's a big decision and you really want to be taking your time on it. So it takes people different amounts of time to decide. Some people might know their course in uni when they're 10. Other people still don't know when they're like a full adult. They don't know if they made the right decision. Just take your time. It doesn't matter when you decide. You just want to try and make the right decision. So yeah, try everything out that I've talked about, and let me know how you find it, if you can decide what uni you go to. And also there's probably more tips around, so look on other videos if you need more help, or searching the internet, there's probably some tips. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video and found some of the tips useful. Hopefully I'll be posting more videos like this soon, so please like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and hopefully I'll see you in another video soon. Thank you for watching. Bye!